All right, so we're gonna step up our game a bit here a little bit because that's what we do. And now I have three numbers that we're gonna compare, right? We have three rather big numbers up here. And the first thing I want you guys to do is, again, I want you to read them aloud. Whether you read it and record it to me, read it to your learning guides, read it to somebody close by, go ahead and give that a try. Now read all three of them out loud, and then we'll get back together and talk about how we're gonna compare them. All right, awesome. I'm sure you did a good job reading them. Just to double check what you read, I'm going to read them out loud too so you can hear it. My first number is starts in the thousands period, right? So I'm going to have 32,434. 32,434. My next number here in the thousands period again, 32,644. 32,644. And then my last guy here, 32,534. Again, 32,544. So we can see they all start in the thousands period, they all start in the 10,000s place, and they all have that 32 to start. So it might make comparing them a little bit tricky. So what we're gonna do this time, instead of drawing in my place value discs, I'm actually just gonna add, let's see, I'm gonna add a line right about here to my chart, and I'm just gonna write in the numbers so we can compare the actual digits instead of doing the place value. Like I said, we're kind of taking the training wheels off a little by little here so we can compare these a little easier and a little quicker. So the first number I'm going to write in is my 32,434. So it's going to be 32,434. Okay, so that's how we would represent that on the place value chart. That's making sure that our digits are in the right place value. So that's the first one. I want you guys to go ahead and write the next two in your place value chart, and then we'll compare what we got after that. All right, awesome. So when I write mine in here, again, I'm going to have 32,000. So I got 32,644. Perfect. And then our last guy is going to be 32,534. Perfect. So now that we have these numbers lined up here, what are some things you notice? Take a second, think about some things you notice, and let me know, what do you notice just looking at these numbers when you're just generally comparing them to start? Awesome. I'm sure you made some good notes about comparing these numbers. But when I look at, man, that noise again, I hope that doesn't mean what I think it means. Okay, let's just, happy thoughts. Okay, here we go. So when I'm comparing these numbers, I'm going to look at my largest place value, which is the 10,000s. They all have a 3 in the 10,000s place, so they're all the same there. They're all equal there. I'm going to move next door to my thousands and look there, and they all have a 2 in the thousands place. So again, they're all equal, they're all the same. So that means I got to keep moving down, right? Slide to the right, as they say. So I'm going to keep moving down on my place value chart, and in this one, I have some differences going on, right? I'm not hearing it. I am not hearing it. I'm not hearing it. Okay, cool. Here I have a 4 in the hundreds place, 6 in the hundreds place, and a 5 in the hundredths place. So looking at the hundreds place for these numbers, I have some differences. So I can compare them here and I can decide which number is the greatest. So looking at this now, comparing these hundreds, which number would you say is the greatest? Perfect. So I would say that 6 is the greatest number, meaning that our whole number of 32,644 is going to be our greatest number. It's going to be the one that the shark wants to eat, right? Speaking of shark. Okay, so sharks at E-School. I'm going to have to call this Shark Exterminator, if you can excuse me for a second. Let's see, Shark Exterminator. Send him a text. We got to get that taken care of. Okay, here we go. So 6 is the greatest digit, meaning that this number is the greatest number, 32,644. Excellent. So we can compare these numbers still. And if I was going to write this as a number sentence, well, let's see. I would probably start by saying 32,644 is greater than, well, let's see which number is going to come next. Again, I'm going to look at this hundreds place. 6 is my greatest number. 5 would be my next number, next digit, right? So my 32,534 would be next. So it's greater than this number, which is greater than 32,000. 434. So we can kind of compare those and put them in order that way. I could also switch this around again and say 32,434 is less than 32,534, which is less than 32,644. I could rewrite that sentence if I wanted to, but you get the idea here. The shark is eating the bigger numbers in this number sentence that I have written here. All right, time for one more example, okay? And then I'll let you guys go so you can practice a little bit. In this example, we're actually going to take a look at things we've learned about place value and also things that we did in the last lesson about different forms of numbers and way we can write and represent numbers in different ways, right? We talked about like the alternate identity and stuff like that in the superheroes. So I'm going to write one number in expanded form and I'm going to write the other number in standard form. And then we're still going to be able to compare them even though they're in different forms. I'm going to show you how that's going to work. Okay, so I have two numbers written up here. I have 700,000 plus 30,000 plus 20 plus 8, and we're going to compare them using greater than or less than 735,008. So got these two numbers here. How can I compare them since they're in different forms? I can't, can I stack them up the right way? Can I use my place value discs? Can I just use the numbers? How is that going to work? Take a second, think about what strategy you would use to try to compare these numbers, and then we'll get back together and I'll show you one way that I could do it. All right, so hopefully you wrote in some sort of suggestion and strategy on how you would solve the problem, which is great. I'm going to show you one way that I would solve it, and I'm actually going to go back to the place value discs and actually draw the picture in here to help me represent both of these numbers. So I'm going to start with this guy here, and this first number that I'm looking at is 700,000. So I'm going to go to my 100,000s place, and I know I'm going to have 7 of them, okay, 700,000s. So I'm not going to write the value in the middle this time. I'm just going to draw my discs. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I got 700,000. I'm going to move next to my 10,000s, right? This is in the 10,000s place. And I have 3 10,000s. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Next, I'm moving to my thousands place. I don't have any thousands, right? So I'm going to go next to my hundreds place. I don't see any hundreds either. So I'll go to my tens. Here we go. I got 2 of those. 1, 2, and I have 8 ones. So I'm going to draw them in. Perfect. So I got my first number represented here on the place value chart. That's easy enough. Good to go on that, right? So let's draw our second one in here. Let's represent it. Even if you didn't do this, if this wasn't your strategy, how would you draw this with place value discs on your place value chart? Go ahead and do that real quick. All right, awesome. So I'm going to draw my guy in now here. So I'm going to have 7, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go over that line. 5, 6, 7. I'm going to have 30 10,000s. So I'm going to have 3 10,000s, sorry. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to move next to my thousands place, which will give me 5,000. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't have any hundreds. I don't have any tens, but I do have 8 ones. So let's see, 1, 2, 3. Perfect. So now I have my two numbers visually represented here on the place value chart. If I start with my 100,000s, I have 700,000s here. I have 700,000s here. So they're equal there. So I'm going to have to move. I'm going to have to slide to my next place value. So I have 3 10,000s here. I have 3 10,000s here. So again, they're equal. So I got 2 spots that I've moved. They're equal. I can't compare them that way. So I'm going to move next to my thousands place. If I look, I have no thousands, but I have 5,000s here. So that means right off the bat, this is our greater number, okay? So the second number that represented 735,008, that's going to be the greater number. So the shark is going to eat that number. No sharks, we're good. Okay, so I'm going to draw it this way, that mouth going this way. And I know that if I read this, it's going to be 700,000 plus 30,000 plus 20 plus 8 is less than 735,008. Okay, compared the numbers. I moved to the place value where they actually had something different. I used that to make the comparison, and then I drew the correct symbol in here to represent my number sentence appropriately. Again, I could swap that and say 735,000 is greater than the next, this one here. I'm not going to write it all out. I'll save you on that. But I could switch that around and rewrite this sentence, and it'll still be the same as long as I switch my comparison up here, my greater than and less than symbol. So hopefully that's starting to make a little sense and click with you guys. You can always practice this a little bit more if you need to. Rewatch the video, reach out to me. whatever you need, and we'll get you guys the practice that you need to kind of build on this concept. You are going to be practicing this a bit more within this lesson, so if you have any other questions, any other comments or concerns, please reach out and let me know. But remember, the shark eats the greater number, and remember to use your place value to help you to make those comparisons. So thank you guys very much for watching. I'm going to go, and I'm starting to hear that sound again, so I'm going to go a little quicker. See ya.